What is going on, everyone? Train Freak here, sitting at the tracks on a beautiful but brutally hot Monday. This is what, July 15th, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Already in a heat advisory. I know this ain't correct, but my truck's telling me it's 100 degrees outside, but I don't think it's that hot. I think it's like 90s or something, but I know the heat index is probably already 100, so it's probably why it's reading there. So, taking a look. Right now, we don't have any trains coming by. We'll see if anyone wants to pop in the chat. I'm already seeing a viewer pop in, so that's awesome. I'm not going to be here talking exactly to myself the whole time, but we'll see who decides to pop up in the chat. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I got to drop the kiddo off yesterday with my parents, so I am kid-free for the whole week, which is going to be awesome. And Tim, CP368, is the first one in the chat. Chris Bell, absolutely. I'm going to try to stay cool the best I can. I still got my truck running. I've got the air conditioning on. Hopefully it's blowing on my phone. It feels like it is. So hopefully it prevents my phone from overheating. Because, man, I've been having that issue. And my truck also has air conditioning seats, so I have that going on too. So, and I think we might have a train coming. I think I see I think that's a light. So I'm actually parked a little bit further down the parking lot than where I normally park because someone got the spot that I normally park in. But it does look like we do have a headlight coming, so that means we do have a train coming. I had to go to the post office right before going live and drop a package off for our buddy Joe Rader at the Black Rock Central. And as I was crossing the tracks speaking of Joe Rader, he's there in the chat. So Joe, you should get your package on the 18th. And they said that's Thursday. So Andy, what's up? The light at the end of the tunnel is a train fart. Oh man. But anyways, yes, we do have a train coming, so that is awesome. But I did not get a chance to work on my layout at all this past weekend. I was busy finishing up a sound and custom lighting installation for a buddy of mine and got started on the next one also at the same time. I took a decoder out of my locomotive and Joe Rader bought it for a real good price for a used decoder. And I will be installing Blue Nami in that locomotive, so I'll have to put in a soundtracks order here pretty soon. Trying to get this one customer finished up, so that way, once he pays, then I'll put that soundtracks order in and whatnot. So, air conditioning not interfering with the audio. Thanks, Chris. I really appreciate you letting me know that. I can turn it up if I need to, but I really do not hope it affects with the audio. I'm going to go ahead and turn it up one more notch. And if it does start interfering with the audio, please let me know, and I'll drop it back down where it was. But yes, I can see more clearly now that we do have a train coming. When the gates and stuff start coming down, then I'll go ahead and flip the camera over, so that way you're just not staring across the tracks at buildings. I mean, what part of that is interesting? Nothing really. So how was everyone's weekend? Did anyone get any work done on their layouts? Joe Rader says, "Oh my God, we can't hear me." Just kidding. So there it is. And also thank you, Joe Rader, as being a channel member. Speaking of channel members, Derail Darrell has received his car, his custom Train Freak graffiti piece of rolling stock that will match his railroad. And he will be picking who the next channel member recipient will be. So, just one way I can spread the love around for those who've given me the extra support over the years. So, yeah, it is hot here, Tim. They said we're in a heat advisory until like 8 o'clock tonight. So, hey, Partick Hill Station. Hi from Toronto. Welcome. You're just in time because I see a headlight off in the distance. Alright, so for those that are new here into watching my Lunchtime Railfanning, I have no schedule, no clue if any trains come. So it's all the luck of the draw, per se. But what I can tell you is where I sit at, I do have a good vantage point of knowing if a train is coming within the next 10 to 15 minutes. So this direction, or southbound of me, the tracks have a slight bend, and then it straightens out for like 5 to 6 miles. So I can see a headlight way off in the distance, and it's so far away that the ditch lights actually look like one light. And then about a quarter mile of that direction, I can see signals for traffic that is moving southbound. So then I know if anything is coming from the north side of where I'm located. We had 5 tornadoes last week. Holy smokes, Tim. Well, hopefully you didn't get hit. I've already had my close call with tornadoes. That was last year, March 31st. That was the one that hit Little Rock, and then it recycled and hit the town of Lynn. The one that hit Little Rock, I was very, very close to the end of the path, about 3/4 of a mile away from the damage. I was just on the north side of that line, so we were lucky to not get hit with that one. But we did have the power go out, and then it just came right back on. But that, and then of course the hail was hitting the roof, and we have a metal roof, so it was pretty loud. All right, now my train is starting to separate the headlights and the ditch lights. But yeah, tornadoes, man, it's no joke. That is like, I think, the most scary weather, because even though there's a chance of tornadoes, you can't really prepare for when it's going to hit. I mean, it can just come out of the sky just like that, the snap of a finger. So, hurricanes, I can kind of, predict. Earthquakes, somewhat. Tornadoes, they can just predict an area of where they could spawn, but they can't predict. Alright, so he is just past the signals. I'm thinking this is either going to be auto racks or maybe a stack train, because when I'm looking down there, I'm looking straight head onto the locomotive. So I can't even really tell what it is, but it does look like something is behind it and taller, so extended height. And typically that tells me it's either stacks or it's going to be auto racks. So gates are starting to come down, so I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera over so that way y'all can get the best view possible. And it is stacks. So you are getting a stack train today. Deep Run Railroad, Mike is in the house. Welcome, Mike. Yeah, it is worse when they don't tell us that they touched down. That is absolutely true. All right, here he is. Oh, Canadian National. Yeah, Joe, I agree with you that one. Stacks are pretty boring. I'm gonna angle the camera up a little. Hey, Martin, that's very true. And welcome, by the way. Welcome into today's live stream. So while this train is going by, if you don't mind, please hit that thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe and fill in the bell, and you will be notified when I go lunchtime railfanning the next time, or when I come out with a video. But yes, please smash that like button. And there she goes. Now I gotta angle my camera back. There we go. Wow, 14 people in here and only 6 thumbs. Come on, guys. Y'all gotta do better than that. And if you're watching on TV, you can still thumb up with the TV. I think you have to hit the down, like when I'm watching YouTube with my Roku on my TV, you hit the down arrow, and then you can hit the side arrows and go to the thumb up, hit OK, and then hit the up arrow and take it away. So yeah, make sure you smash that like button. All right. So now we get to play the waiting game and see if anything else comes this direction. That train was on main line number 1. So the only signal that I do not have a vantage point of because of where I'm currently parked at is the signal for main line number 2. So, someone decided to park in my normal spot, but first come, first serve, right? And I don't think anybody else has popped in. Oh. But anyways, so how was everyone's weekend? Has anybody been working on their layouts? If you're not modeling, has anybody went out there rail fanning over the weekend? And if you're out rail fanning and you're not doing what I'm doing, sitting in an air-conditioned truck or car, try to stay cool, drink lots of water, maybe a Gatorade or a liquid IV here and there. But don't be out doing that with sodas. You're just going to regret it later. And then for those who are also working on their layouts, if you have not joined my Facebook group, I highly encourage it. All you got to do is just share pictures of your layout, and I am doing a variety show every other week. And I will be sharing those pictures and crediting you to everyone, and that could be a way to help you grow your channels if you're a smaller channel. So yeah, link should be in the description on the Facebook group. And if you're not on Facebook, then just shoot me an email and we can work something out. Mike, if you're on your phone and TV, do I count as 1 or 2 watchers? I'm pretty sure you count as 2. But I don't know if it's going to let you thumb it up twice. So Joe is waiting on a return phone call from the state. They have my property tax all screwed up. The bill I got doesn't even agree with their computer. So would it be does the state of Maryland do property tax? Because Arkansas doesn't. Now the counties in Arkansas does property taxes, but not the state. So that's interesting that your state does property tax. Particle says, I did an unboxing of some bits and pieces which family brought over from Scotland for me. Much needed parts also made a few comments about my recent video, A Tale of Two Magazines. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, wow. Man. Does Maryland also do income tax, a state income tax? And probably a state sales tax too, I bet. Yeah, see, Tim, I mean, like I said, we don't have a state property tax here. It's all property taxes is all issued by the county, and different entities within the county have different millage, meaning a portion of the property tax. So, okay, but you don't pay income tax. See, our governor's trying to do away with the state income tax here, and I think they're going to try to add it onto sales tax. So that way we get more of our paychecks, even though you pay more sales tax. But it makes it to where people that are, making money under the table, not reporting their income, they have to pay more taxes. So, and I think the federal should do the same thing. Do away with income tax altogether and apply it all on sales. Because everybody buys stuff. And so the government would get more money if they do it that way. Darrell, welcome. Haven't seen you in a hot minute, man. Alright, right now, nothing. I can see nothing. I know Virginia does state property tax on cars, but that's the only state property taxes I have ever heard of. And then Joe Rader saying my income is too low for taxes. Well, nothing wrong with that. Like I said, we have property tax here, and it's on, they call it personal property, which is like your vehicles and some of your toys and stuff, like if you got ATVs or side-by-sides, utility trailers, um, that's pretty much what they, consider personal property, but also real estate taxes as well. So the property you own, physical property, even if it's just a vacant lot of land, you still have to pay taxes on that vacant lot of land. And I think that's where like our school districts get a lot of their funding from, because they have a lot of millage that's in the property taxes. I do know the state Department of Education here in Arkansas does give each school district X amount of dollars per how many students they have. But, even if, you got someone living in an area and they don't even have kids or grandkids in the school, their property taxes still go to that school district. So Mike put up a video on his layout build yesterday. I'm working on the electrical today. The electrical, the most fun stuff. Best advice on electrical, keep your wiring neat and organized so it doesn't look like a big spaghetti mess underneath. Tim says we have a village, school, and town, county. I'm assuming those are different taxes. So, but anyways, taxes are, I mean, I understand that the government's got to have them so the government can function, but, All right, let's see. Particular in Ontario, we have a provincial income tax, so that's going to be like our state tax, federal income tax, sales tax, municipal property tax, and water tax. Wow, water tax. But we get free health care. Some also have private health from our employers. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, Randall Ellison's here. Just going to be listening in the background, driving to Thayer from Springfield. Figured I'd say hi while I'm stopped here at Iron Planet Hobbies. I plan on being there next week because I will be up in Branson Me and the wife, we got a house sitter to house sit the dogs and Aaron. So Aaron's not going with us. But Amanda has promised to take me to Iron Planet Hobbies. Springfield's about 45 minutes an hour north of Branson, Missouri. And Amanda knows that she has to find something that she wants on the layout as long as it fits the era. So as long as it fits like 1958, she's going to pick something out to put on the layout. That's another way of me getting her involved. All right. And we got Scott, Waycross Trains is in the house. And Mike loves the electrical part. And I forgot to mention that Mike is also a channel member, so thank you for that extra support there, Mike. And speaking of channel memberships, we got the Kerley Express, also known as the Tuna Can Express. Dwight, appreciate that extra support too, buddy. What start over in late? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Dwight. I'll let you retype that. Sounds like you just woke up from a nap. And we have Nathan Delay in the house as well. Nathan, welcome. So for those who are just coming in, you already missed the most boring train, in my opinion. And it was a stack. It was a stack train, but it was Canadian National, not Union Pacific. All right, ink rails. Ontario sucks for taxes. Lived in the northern part of Ontario, and the government takes away too much. I think that's how everybody feels about taxes in general. So they're not exactly in Springfield. I can't remember the name of the town off the top of my head, but it's just east of Springfield. All right. So do you Missouri, Arkansas guys talk to Main Track MKT Modeler in Springfield, Missouri area? I actually do not know the guy. So I'm in central Arkansas, but we do go to Branson quite a bit. That's kind of like our escape town or our second home, I guess you could say. And a lot of times when we go up there, we don't even go and do the tourist stuff. It's kind of like once you do it one time, it's like, why do I want to go back and do it again? Mike's saying our county administrator wanted to raise our taxes 28%, and as a result, he got canned. Wow. CN for the win. Well, you have to go back and watch it. All right, Scott. Last week I went for interviews with the manager at Rail Crew Express and received an email on Wednesday evening for the job officer for Waycross, Georgia driver and have not heard from them yet when to start. So, are they hiring you? Not hiring you? You received an email for the job offer, but they haven't told you when to start. Do you follow Main Track Trains? He is starting a new layout, just moved. Find him on YouTube. All right, Chris. Well, hey, thanks for popping in here, buddy. We will see you next time. Make sure that you smash that like button on your way out if you haven't already done so. And I will try to remember to go check him out. All right, let me see if we got anything else coming. I can't really tell. Oh, you got the job. Well, congratulations, Scott. If you don't know when to start, I would probably try to find some way to contact them and be like, so when do I start? But congratulations, by the way. Have I seen any of the CPKC units? I have not seen any of the CPKC units. I still see CP units from time to time, which I actually caught one of their Purple Heritage units not too long ago. And I still see a lot of the Southern Belt KCS units. So, all right, Mike, have fun with the wires. Don't get short-circuited when they get tangled up. Have fun with that, but like I said, best of us. Try to keep it organized as best as possible. So, when do you start your training? Do you even know that? I'm assuming you're driving. You're like a rail crew man, like what Randall Ellison's doing, right? That's what I'm assuming. So I see something down there. I think we might have a high rail coming. That's what it looks like. Looks like we have a high rail. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around because I cannot gauge how fast he is moving. So let me go ahead, just flip her around so that way he doesn't haul butt up here and we end up missing out on it. Because that would not be cool, right? And he is, well, I can't really even tell what track he's on yet. But he's moving. It's not very common that I actually get to see the high rails come through here, but I do know that when it's really hot outside or when it's really cold, that is more typically when you will see them. Spring and fall, and not so much. And he is actually on the same track that stack train was on. So he is on main number 1. So he should be coming in front of us here in just any minute, unless he decides to get off of the road here. Nope, here he comes. And there he goes. All right. That was probably the quickest action you're going to get today. So, do I have any work left to do on the sawmill? I have a lot of work left, but I will tell you this. I do have an Amazon package coming in today, and it's 1.5 gallons of deep pour resin. So, that's going to allow me to fill in the pond. I'm undecided if I want to maybe put some paint in it. So this is a part that I'm literally unexperienced in, is creating the murkiness of this water. Because I've never done it before. Not with murkiness. I've always done it with like a clear, like moving, flowing water, not stagnant water. So this one is going to be, I don't know, I really don't have a game plan as to tackle this. Has anyone ever done water pours that's not, like a commercial murky one like Woodland Scenics? Has anybody ever like made their own like deep pour resin and mixed paint with it and actually done it? So Luke Towen, he's a very, very good reference. I'll definitely check him out for sure. Brown and green paint should work. It should, but you got to get the right hue of brown and green. You can't just go and get brown and green. So, I mean, I don't want it to look like swamp. Joe thinks Woodland Scenics has a dye. So is it a dye, or is it a kit to where the dye is only as much as what that kit allows? So, and what type of paints? Is it acrylics or oil based? That's the other thing. Like I said, this is something I have not done, and so this is kind of intimidating me a little bit. I mean, scenery intimidates me. Like electronics intimidates most of y'all. I could do electronics all day long because I have a knack for it. But when it comes to scenery, I'm not as skilled in my. I'm not saying I'm not skilled. I'm not as skilled in my scenery as I am my electronics. So Joe's never used it. So he thinks Woodland Scenics has a dye, but he's never used it. Dwight is saying that they do have a dye, but Dwight, have you used it? So looking for experience. I know Flying Crow, who is supposed to be coming up to Arkansas next month anyways. I might just wait till he comes up and maybe him give me some instruction, because I know he did it on his layout and it looked really good. Like it looked swampy. That's not really the look I'm going after. But he's Louisiana, right? KCS, Louisiana. It's supposed to be swampy. Now, southern Arkansas is pretty swampy too, but where I'm modeling, it's not supposed to be swampy. Murky, but not swampy. There is a difference. Flavored water. Can't beat it. Well, guys, I don't know if we're going to get another train or not. I will be able to stick around for about another 10 to 15 minutes. Because I clocked out right at 11 o'clock Central Time, which means I got to be back at noon Central Time. Or for y'all over in the East Coast, that'd be 1 o'clock your time. But so I still have that. I still have some plastering to do, ink trails if you're still in here. I've got a turnout that one of my points popped off. It's one of my hand-built turnouts. I just got to solder that back on, so that's not going to be, a big to-do or big fix. Joe Rader's favorite flavored water is called coffee. My favorite would be Southern Sweet Tea. It's got to have enough sugar that it crunches. And I do like coffee. I like it black. I like what they call cowboy coffee. You just throw the grounds in there, boil it, and then once you get ready to drink it, you pour in some cold water, and it makes the grounds sink to the bottom, so that way you don't ingest it. So the stuff I used painted the bottom of the lake, and then you pour the stuff on top. Okay, well, I've already got the bottom painted. I painted it like a really dark brown. It's called Chocolate Sprinkle. I think it's Chocolate Sprinkle. But it's an acrylic paint, apple barrel from Walmart. Let's see. I also got some ceiling lamp fixtures in from We Honest. Haven't opened those yet, but I'm going to put those on the trusses over at the uh, the lumber yard itself, or the sawmill where the sorting tables is. So I'm going to do that so I can get that building lit. Let's see. I did get the plastering where the TP burner is. Walders did fix me up with some more pipe and the trusses, the things that hold the pipe up in the air. So I did get some of those. So grateful for that. And then the only thing I'm going to need is some more elbows. So I could probably try to break the elbows apart, maybe send them off to somebody who could maybe 3D design them and print them for me, but I don't know. What I might do is just buy 2 more of the old Walters piping kits and just get as many elbows as I need. I can get 2 sets of elbows per each kit, and then I'll have piping for all these other type of industries if I need them later on, and if not, I can always sell that stuff. So can't wait to build your sawmill series. That'd be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that. What all sawmill buildings did you get? You know, is it the same ones that I have? Is it, you know, are you doing something different? Curious to know. So I have to cut the creek into my modules and then make the creek bed. Have you figured out how you're going to do that? That's a good point, Joe. I'll have to make sure and see if those sprues are thick enough. The thing is, the pipe, it's so thick that it's actually cut into halves. And so you have to glue the 2 halves together to make the full diameter of the pipe. And most of the sprues is about the size of the medium diameter. But that is something to look into. That would be O scale. So if the second number or the number after the slash, if it's smaller than 87.1, then that's actually a bigger scale. If it's a higher number than 87.1, then it's a smaller scale. So, but yes, 1 to 48 is O scale, or O gauge. S is 1 to 64. Double O is 1 to 76. And then you have HO, which is 1 to 87.1. And then, of course, all those scales have different variations, like you got OM3, OM30. And that has to do with the track gauge, because that's narrow gauge. And then you have what's called TT gauge, which is tabletop gauge. That's 1 to 120. And then you have N scale, which is 1 to 160. And there's a couple other variants of N scale as well, but I don't have those memorized. I think one's like 1 to 150. And then you have Z scale, which is 1 to 220. I think it's 220. I'm pretty sure it's 1 to 220. And then you have T gauge, which is the smallest, and that's like 1 to 350, I think. It's small. So wants to add a large log pile, wood chip pile, and a log pond. So that I'm doing the log pond. I did not have space for a wood chip pile and the even the truck wood chip loader. I didn't even add that. So I actually have that, not even painted. It's put together. I put it together not knowing I didn't have space for it, because I didn't want everything, you know, compressed on everything. But Hey, train work. Been lurking in the background. Good session. Operate on operator. Thank you. Welcome, by the way. And even if you're lurking, hey, that's cool too. Just make sure you smash that like button for me if you don't mind. But back on to the sawmill. I just didn't want everything compressed, all in the same spot. The only thing that I did add that was not part of the kit was the loading dock. So, so that way they could load boxcars from the concrete loading dock. Joe, for me, it's not that I can't see this crap scale, is I can't work on that crap scale due to sausage fingers. Oh man, I tried helping Aaron out with some of his in-scale stuff, and I was like, man, this is for the birds. Like my fat sausage fingers do not work with anything smaller than HO. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And there's some things in HO it doesn't even want to work with. I have to use tweezers. So in scale means everything's got to be used by tweezers. In Z scale, forget it. I don't like Z scale because you can barely Z it. So I think I purchased the log crane for both truck and train. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I got a log crane from Jim Tedesco. I just haven't put it together yet. So that I do have. I just got to put it together. Thank you, Andy, for putting that up there. Definitely need those likes. It helps. And of course, if you're not subscribed, which I think probably all 10 of you that's in here are probably already subscribed to the channel. So, but if you're a lurker and you're not subscribed, make sure that you hit that subscribe button too. I don't try to do the lunchtime railfanning every day, but if I am in the mood, not terribly behind on lunches, like if I'm not going to lunch at 2 o'clock, then I try to do at least 2-3 times a week. One thing I won't have is a sawmill. Just doesn't fit the region having a rail served sawmill. Well, Tim, you could have a sawmill that's not rail served on your layout, just to have one if you wanted one. I'm sure there's sawmills up in your area. They just might not be rail served. And then we got Dwight Kerley sharing his membership badge, 28 months. So for the other channel members, if you're curious on how Dwight did that, you go like you're buying a super chat, and then there's one thing that's called member milestone, and you can use it for free, one time per live stream, and it will show how long you have been a member to the channel. 28 months, Dwight. Man, that's been over 2 years. Holy smokes. And I've got good news. I have just enough time that maybe this train down here will get up this way and we can watch one more train before I end today's live stream. Oh, that's nice. That's beautiful wood right there. Black walnut. Yeah, you were young. 28 months ago, Dwight, you were definitely younger back then. That is for sure. But anyways, thank you so much for your support. I greatly appreciated it. And, like I said, the money that I get through the channel, it either goes towards the layout or I try to throw it back into y'all in some form or fashion. And one of the ways that I'm doing that is doing these custom painted cars. I've already did Crooked Dave. That's Crooked River and Eastern, Dave Thurber. And Derail Darrell's got his. And so I started with Dave, as a joke, and then I did Darrell's, and I was like, you know what? I said I should do this for my channel members. But the way I'm doing it is, instead of me picking who gets the next car, I'm letting the recipient pick the next recipient out of a list of names. And so as long as you're a channel member for at least 6 months, then your name will be tossed into the hat for the current recipient to pick from. So Tim is saying, sometime I should take pictures of the abandoned mill down towards Dalton. Oh, that'd be cool. And Dwight saying, wonder if you're the first person I remember you. I don't think. So the first ones that membered me, and not all of them are members anymore. One was Marty from M&M Shortlines. Roy Eltham. Shay's N-Scale was one of the first ones. And Lynn McCurdy. But Dwight, you are up there. I think you might have been number 5. Well, I know I have a train coming this way because I can barely see the headlight off in the distance. Because like I said, I'm not parked where I normally park. And I can see the red signal for Main 1. So we do have another northbound train. But yeah, anyways, like I was saying, Darrell, he's got his car. He was told not to open it yet. So Darrell is supposed to be figuring out a time that me and him can get together, and he's going to go live, and I'm going to get up there with him and let him open his car and share it with everyone. And if you liked Crooked Dave's car, you're really going to like Darrell's. I don't want to give too much away. Y'all have already seen one side of it. And that's where I put Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on it. Because he shreds paper for a living, so he's known as Shredder. And yes, yesterday was Darrell's birthday. But this is not a birthday gift. This is a thank you for being a channel member gift. Alright, let's see here. Looks like my phone is still pretty cold, so that's nice. But this dummy here forgot to plug the battery in. Because it said 15% battery left. Well, let's see, do I have it charging? Give me a second, guys. Sometimes this thing wants to charge, and sometimes it doesn't. Oh, it would help if I had this fully plugged in. Okay, now we're charging. So, Joe Rader, 1 year, 10 month, and 27 days. So Joe is almost close to getting that 2-year channel membership badge. And the cool thing about the channel memberships, like one of the things that I noticed, because I've had some people come on as channel members, and then they had to drop off due to some financial reasons, and that's completely understandable because I don't beg and ask people to be channel members. I offer it out there if you want some extra stuff. So like when I do work on my layout, I will throw up pictures for my channel members to see before anybody else. And I do that for the $3 level and above. For the $1 a month, all you get is the little badge and the custom emojis, just to say you remember. But for $3 and above, I do give out extra perks. And so, but with the membership card thing, it doesn't matter what level you're at, whether you're $1 a month or even up to, I think the highest one was like $20, $25 a month, which nobody's at, and that's cool too. But where I'm going at it with is it doesn't matter what level you're at. Once you hit 6 months, your name is automatically in the drawing to be picked out for the next custom weathered, painted, graffitied. If you don't like graffiti like Joe Rader, then I probably won't graffiti it much. I'll probably just kind of, do something not just graffiti-ish, but a custom car by the Train Freak. And I do add metal wheels, KD couplers, and I do add proper weight to it. So you're not just getting a cheap Athearn blue box. You're actually getting something with a little bit more work put into it. So, because I'm picky like that, and I want people to have something that's actually going to run good on their layouts. So, but yeah, I did Darrell's car, and I think it looks pretty cool. Y'all got to see half of it on a live stream several weeks ago, a couple months ago. But nobody knows what the other side looks like except for yours truly. And so I know the reaction that I will get from Darrell is going to be a laugh. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a laugh. Because he's got a good heart, good sense of humor. So, and so yeah. But I can promise you, it's not googly eyes like what's on Crooked Days. It's something better on Darrell's. And y'all are probably like, well, what's better than that? Well, you'll just have to wait and see. You'll just have to wait and see. And like I said, who Darrell picks to be the next one, I have no clue. I've got some ideas for some of you members out there, but some of you, I really don't even know where to begin. And so yeah. But anyways, we do have a train coming. He is getting closer. Because I'm also getting closer to end up on time. And this one does not appear to be a stacked train, so thank God. It's really hard to tell, but I'm thinking it's either it kind of looks like a unit train, maybe a tank train or a grain train, covered hoppers maybe, but gates are starting to come down, so let me go ahead and flip you over real quick. And then we're going to end this stream on a good note. There we go. Do that right there. Oh yeah, you'll definitely have time for the engines to go by. It's a Union Pacific. Yeah, me too. Those are my favorite type of trains altogether. Is just the mixed manifest. I love mixed manifest trains. But this looks like it might. This one looks like a tank train. And I see another headlight off in the distance. Looks like another headlight on track 2, but we will not have time for that. Oh, if Randall Ellison is still here. Oh, 1170. I wonder what that is on. Wonder what commodity that is. I do not know 1170 off the top of my head. If anyone's got a computer and they can open up another tab, just Google UN1170 and it will tell you what these tank cars are carrying. It might be ethanol. I know they used to do crude oil through here, but I haven't seen one of those in a long time. Some shiny tank cars too, like right there. Oh, shiny. And then you get some of these like that one that's very matte. Okay, so it is ethanol. 1170 is ethanol. Well, there you go. So now you are looking at an ethanol train. I want to say 1102 or is 1203. One of those is crude oil. I'm pretty sure this one might have a pusher. We might have a DPU on the back end. Tanks, 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 and tanks. Now, if our buddy John over at Schuylkill River Valley was here, I'd make him count these cars. Okay, so 1203 is gasoline with 10% ethanol. Okay. Nope, no DPU. So it might be 1102 that I'm thinking of that's crude oil. Alright, let me flip the camera back around and then crude oil is 1267. Okay. Yeah, there's another headlight down there too. So unfortunately, I got to get back to work. Otherwise, I'm going to be late. So, hey, not too bad. We got 2 trains and a high rail today, and they were all on the same track. So how about that? So other than that, I'm going to let y'all have it. Be safe out there. Try to stay cool with this heat. For those that are getting bad weather, try to keep an eye on that. Don't take Mother Nature lightly because she can pack a punch. So other than that, be safe out there. God bless and happy railroading. We'll see you next time.